Hi friends, welcome back. I've got another question from Facebook about polyamory, and it is, do you feel a cultural pull toward polyamory or monogamy? And I think the response to this question is twofold. I think on the dominant cultural level, which I'll talk the most about, there's absolutely a pull toward monogamy. And then I think on the subcultural level, for me, I feel a pull toward polyamory. The reason for this is that I've intentionally co-created relationships with fellow poly people as well as poly-friendly people. It's a big part of the reason that I relocated from rural Ohio to the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains, specifically Boulder, is to be around more poly people in general, and then also just poly-friendly or poly-enlightened people, and that's absolutely the case here. So I think the heart of this question is about the dominant culture, and yes, it is monogamous. It more than that, it's mononormative. So mononormativity is a term that is akin to heteronormativity, which is basically that in our culture, heterosexuality is normalized, and everything within our culture, especially things about sex and gender roles, feed this heterosexual normalizing. So the beliefs and then therefore the behaviors of beings in our socially constructed environment feed back to a preference toward heterosexuality and that normativity. So therefore, if, maybe a really good example of this would be in the dominant culture, if you are a biological female and your sexual orientation is straight, and so you're attracted to biological males, but let's say that you are also very athletic and you like contact sports, like you really like, going out there and roughing it up with other people regardless of their sex or gender, there would be a sort of schism, right? And because of heteronormativity, you might feel like, oh, I'm not really hetero, or I'm not really a woman, and all of these things. So I think most people can relate to that sort of normalizing, which puts us into boxes and can create a lot of suffering, and actually has real life implications of pain, and people at the most extreme level, people are killed or kill themselves over not fitting into the heteronormative box. Mononormativity works exactly the same way. It's just that instead of sexual orientation, it's about relationship orientation. So yes, in our culture, what is normalized is monogamy. And examples of this are in our media for sure. I, as a polyamorous person, know that when I go to the box office, is that what you call it? When I go to the movies, I know that I'm going to see depictions of monogamous people. I'm going to also see depictions of monogamous people oftentimes dealing with issues of infidelity, of lying and cheating, but I'm not very often going to see them talking about ethical non-monogamy or that option, at least not earnestly or from an informed place, because it's just not the case that people are conscious of this option. And I think what I also see is a lot of tension that plays off of desires for people to be with other people, but a lot of confusion about how to do that and how to do that ethically. So it can be very alienating. Gift cards would be another example, or rather like a birthday gift for a partner. The rhetoric of these cards is oftentimes going to espouse the value of monogamy, and it'll conflate life partnership and marriage with monogamy. It'll say things like, you're my one and only, I just want to be with you forever and no one else, and things like that. Well, that's not the case for me. I'm a polyamorous person. I have 3 life partners, and I want to be with whoever wants to be with me, regardless of how many people there are. So I think the solution, so those are some of the harms. I mean, that we have this dominant culture of monogamy, and the solution really is in the subculture. It's building intentional relationships with people who love and accept and maybe are even like you. It's pretty rad. So peace. Thanks a lot for this question. Let's talk more soon, and Happy New Year.